Well, here's a look at the stories you need to know today. Health and law enforcement officials are concerned about new at-home sexual assault kits. The companies that make the packages market them as ways to collect evidence if survivors try to pursue charges later. But as News 8's Mal Meyer explains tonight, some worry they may do more harm than good. Mal?
Mike, according to the U.S. Department of Justice, about 25% of sexual assaults were reported to police in 2018, compared to about 40% in 2017. Now, these kits are aimed at survivors who do not have the ability or do not want to go to the police or hospital to gather evidence. But local health experts are worried that victims are losing out on other services and may not be able to use the evidence they collect. There's two new at-home kits that are drawing scrutiny: the Me Too kit and Preserve kit.
Are you a victim of sexual assault? If you don't get a sexual assault examination by trained personnel, you have the option of saving your evidence and giving it to the authorities in the future.
That's a message from Preserve Kit co-founder Jane Mason. But there's a few problems with this, according to Gunderson emergency room nurse Miranda Schmidt, one of them being their immediate medical needs.
The trauma-informed care that we can provide them in the emergency department, the medication to prevent sexually transmitted infections and prevent pregnancy as well.
Schmidt and her colleagues are trained in evidence collection and are able to provide a clear chain of custody through the police department and then state crime lab.
I'm concerned that maybe these kits will not be allowed in a court of law because they have been collected at home.
Mason admits to this in a video posted to the product's website.
It's common sense that people who are trained in evidence collection could be able to obtain a higher quality of evidence than someone not trained.
But she goes on to claim that collecting your own evidence is the next best thing.
Crime victims give evidence to law enforcement all day, every day. Sexual assault is no different.
Schmidt worries that taking the at-home kit doesn't address the resources that survivors may need in the days, weeks, and years ahead.
We go step by step and provide them with whatever resources they choose.
Now, one of the problems is cost. The Me Too kit doesn't have a price yet, but the Preserve kit costs about $30 on Amazon. But the Violence Against Women Act requires states to provide sexual assault exams for free to receive critical anti-crime grants. And Gunderson said it would work with anybody who comes in to report a sexual assault to make sure if there are any other costs associated that they could try to help pay off or get reduced prices.
Sure. And how is law enforcement responding to this?
Yeah, so at least one attorney general has directly addressed these kits. That's the Michigan Attorney General, who has called it, who has issued a letter saying that it might be violating some of the state's different laws against selling these kinds of products, and warning it that it should not be selling it to any consumers in Michigan.
Okay.